Welcome back to Quite Frankly Podcast, because life is weird and we have thoughts.
My name is Joanne, and this is my sister Danielle.
And yes, today we have a lot of interesting things we want to talk about, in particular about the holidays and how some of the top things that we look for during the holidays and how you can prepare for them as well. We know it's early, but preparation is part of the deal, right? If we want to do it right. But in the meantime, I do want to say we got another subscriber last week.
I know, I saw that.
We got excited.
1 week, we'll get there.
It's the small things in life, people.
3 years.
I also want to apologize ahead of time if I get a little raspy. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but like my throat's a little bit dry and my nose is congested. So I got my chai tea, my Trader Joe's Thai tea. I had to go all the way to Orlando to get it. So it's my favorite thing. I leave it for these moments. What do you do, Joanne?
You're wearing a jacket.
I know. Well, it's actually this is Joey's.
But are you cold?
Yes.
I'm hot, clearly.
I know. Well, you know what?
Although my daughter said it's cold in the house.
I'll get hot all of a sudden. I've always had a low blood pressure, so I get cold very easily. And then all of a sudden I'll have a hot flash, and then you'll see me during take this off. But I got cold earlier. Plus I'm drinking tea, so this will not last long. But it was sitting on the chair, and I just grabbed it through. Okay.
But we digress yet again.
Yes. Never on.
And it's getting, it's supposed to get cold out by the end of the week here, but it's hitting 82 here in October.
I also want to say that we had a lot of fun on our last episode. Be sure to go and check it out if you haven't yet. We aside from the fact that we did get a little bit sidetracked by K-dramas, which was always a lot of fun. Well, on our last episode, which is actually coming out tomorrow.
Oh, so we're not okay. We're not. Oh, that okay. I'm sorry.
But I was going to say that
I didn't know we got sidetracked. But
we
did you see the SNL skit though? The SNL skit on the K-pop Demon Hunters. It's a kids show. No, it's not. It's not.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
it's not.
I'll have to take a look. I enjoy the. I don't know what is it a K-drama?
It's an animation.
No. I'm just talking about the stuff that I've been watching.
Oh, you're watching K-dramas, which is Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, and
now I'm watching Alchemy of the Souls or something.
Yeah,
which I have to admit, I hit at points. I'm at like 11 or 12, and I'm just like.
It gets going again. It slows. It gets going again. Like I said, watch it until episode 19. And then after that, it gets dumb. Because...
Which is disappointing.
I think what happened, it was supposed to be a short series. And I think they got renewed. And they're like, oh, well, we wrapped everything up. Let's add something in. And then they changed the actress, which was distressing to me. And it just
well, it's
got
souls
dumb.
jumping from body to body, so this doesn't really shock me too much. But
yeah, but
yeah, I know.
Naksu and Mudok were okay. We're going down an avenue that most of our
we did that on the last episode. We spent a good 10 minutes talking about it.
Did we?
But we also. But then
Let's do an episode talking about the show.
We might have to. But I was going to say last week we talked about Stephen Colbert's 15 questions, I think it was, and actually, that was a lot of fun.
The Colbert questionnaire.
It was a very interesting conversation. Brought up a lot of interesting topics, but
that was fun.
This week we are talking about the holidays. Yay! Jingle jingle! I feel like we should have music inserted. Whatever.
Yeah, it's early, but to get the deals. But I thought we could start with our favorite things as ideas for gifts.
Gifts.
Yeah, if you want to give a gift and you need an idea.
Do you want to hear the funny thing about the holidays? I am that person that's all about presentation and less about the gifts.
Oh.
I just like everything to be pretty.
Well, the gift would be pretty too then, right?
Well, yeah.
Now, see, do you believe I have my husband, he gives a Christmas list, I say in air quote, because they're all things he'll buy if we don't get it for him. So it's like, to me, it's you're getting them a gift they wouldn't typically buy for themselves. Like it would be a struggle. It's like, well, maybe.
For me, I think it is about giving a gift that you thought about, that you thought, like, in other words, I mean, this is so very women coded. And if you're a man listening, like, listen up, right? Most women, yes, a lot of them will drop hints, but very rare actually says, here's a list, you know? We're not that direct in that regard. But part of it is because we want you to sit there and
he
think
isn't
about...
either. We ask for the list.
Right. It would be lovely to have someone think about your relationship, think about who you are as a person, and come up with something that's unique and different. It doesn't even have to be expensive. That, you know, makes you look like you put some thought into it, you know? I don't know. That's me.
I agree with you, but I have had friends, they're not anymore, who...
Because the gifts?
Yeah. Well, no, that's not the reason. But I have had friends where if you don't spend enough money on them, yeah.
No,
They're
I'm not
clearly
interested in
not
that.
good friends, but it's more of a, oh, thank you.
For me, it's like, heck, even if you made something, wow.
Well, see, that's one of the things that we do in our house is sometimes each one of us has a skill that we enjoy or a hobby and have asked that person. Like my one daughter is really good at crocheting and she makes some. I have this funny looking, it's not here, otherwise I'd show you, a funny looking gnome, crocheted gnome.
Oh, how cute. How
He's
cute.
funny.
I have to
And
say,
then-
like, we have a sister that 1 year, I think it was a year after Dad died, took one of Dad's favorite scarves, which was kind of like this material, and made a bunch of ornaments of grizzly bears. There's a long backstory to that. He really liked grizzly bears. And it had a scarf on it.
Oh, so
And a little...
is it from that scarf
Yeah.
or? I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
have that.
The
have
scarf is that he's wearing is a cut off
She
strip
didn't
of
explain it to me.
Oh, really? But I love that
getting
thing.
it, but
I put it
yeah.
up. I love putting that up every year. It makes me smile when I see it. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of making something. I can't say I've always could do it, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I get into the whole coziness of it.
Okay, name a gift that you would actually name something that you really enjoyed that you didn't necessarily get, you might have bought for yourself that gave you joy in the last year. I'm writing down.
I gotta be honest, last Christmas, my boyfriend found earrings that are these crystal drop earrings. And if you look at it, it had pieces of dandelion in it,
Oh,
which I
interesting.
thought was
Did
super
it,
sweet because
was it kind of yellow?
No, it was actually the kind that you blow on. You know, the little. He had two pairs. One had pieces of the dandelion, you know, the blowing kind, the white pieces inside of it, and then the other one was it was a crystal, and it had like a silver etching that looked like a regular dandelion on it. But it's so delicate.
that's very Danielle.
Yeah. So
wouldn't be for me.
I thought it was very, very sweet.
So this is what I thought. Much more practical. I got last year for Christmas a Ninja air fryer oven for myself, well, for the family, with a temperature gauge that you put in the meat and it will just heat to the
Ooh.
temperature. I know, I love this thing. I love that. We use it almost every day. I know. You had something beautiful, as you said, and I'm more practical.
Well, I mean, when I think about like, so part of my problem is I also don't like buying like retail. Like, let's
Oh,
be real.
no, me
I
too.
am,
Like I said, I bought it last Christmas. You go and you wait for the I say Black Friday. You don't really have Black Friday anymore, do you?
I mean, it's more of a season now. I mean, I worked in retail, as in I work for a manufacturer, and you kind of also had your website where you would sell stuff. And yeah, there's Black Friday, but like, I just feel like with retailers, it's not the same as it used to be. Really, you know how they say Cyber Monday? There is Cyber Monday, but let's be real.
It's Cyber
Monday
November.
And
It
October.
starts in early November.
Right.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen it in November.
And
But-
the closer you are getting to the technical Cyber Monday, whatever, I find in what I've observed, the deals become less and less. And as soon as that passes, it's like, don't even bother. It's gone.
You have to know. I find last year I found that you have to have a list of things that you're ready to buy and keep checking.
And I did not find that the bargains that you were getting on Cyber Monday or on Black Friday
that could
were
be the
in any way
economy.
different than the weeks prior to it.
Oh,
In anything I saw.
yeah. Well, Black Friday is no longer exists, I don't think.
I mean, it
moving on,
exists.
Name a gift that you would give your significant other.
Oh, jeez.
Well, what did you give him last year?
Last year,
Unless he
I got
didn't
him
like
a
it.
whiskey smoker. We saw
is
it
that?
done somewhere.
Oh, a smoker, but
A smoke.
whiskey?
No, it's like a thing where you light. I don't know what it is, but it's like something you put on top of the glass, and there's like you can put like chips of wood or whatever in there. You light it up, cover it over your whiskey, and smoke builds up in the glass, and it smokes the whiskey. He doesn't use it very often, but when he does have it, he's like, "Yee!"
It's fun,
It's fun and it's fancy and it has a great flavor too. So we were at a friend's house in Pennsylvania visiting for one of our niece's weddings because she was married in Jersey, and he had one. We hadn't taken it out of the box or anything, but like he was looking at it like, this is the coolest thing ever, and I was like, oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
So I got him that last year.
That's
And,
a good one.
But this year, I'm kind of like not sure.
Okay, so here's the thing with Gordon. He's difficult to buy for because, like I said, he'll list all the practical things. And then if you want to get him off list, something that he wouldn't normally buy for himself, it used to be food, a fancy meat. But now, because of he's controlling his cholesterol levels, you can't do the meats anymore. There's beer, but there's only so much beer you can buy. I feel I can buy. So what I started doing, and a friend suggested it, was buy him an experience. Mm-hmm. So last year I got him a straight razor shave. It was quite expensive too. But so he's never had one where they put the hot rag on and then it's a whole experience. And he said they shaved them twice too.
Wow.
He said it was a lot of fun. He doesn't think he'd do it again. I did something else. I can't remember. There used to be this place called Cookology here. It's since closed, and you could take cooking classes. And the fun thing with that, when it's a significant other, you get it for the both of you.
So here's it's so funny you're saying this, because one of the things I was thinking about, like, either I like really cozy kind of stuff, but then I also really love experiences. Like experiences are a big thing for me.
Because it also keeps from getting things into the house, as well as, because we're, like I often say, we're getting to the age you're trying to get rid of stuff instead of bring stuff in. So that's one other thing. And it hit me when I actually made him a gift, and he was like, oh, that's nice. He wasn't really that impressed with it. It was, to me, very personal, but I guess he didn't So I was like, I don't know what to get him. He kind of, I mean, not that he has large emotions like we do, but yeah. So someone suggested there is one I came close to buying, and it was a deprivation tank. You get to sit and lay in a deprivation tank, but it was for an hour and a half. And I was like, I can't see me sitting in a deprivation tank for an hour and a half. And after I told him, he said, yeah. But I will say this, he's catching on to this experience thing.
Yeah.
Because this year he asked the kids for a baking class. King Arthur's in the area. And I was like, oh, shoot, now I'm going to run out of ideas because he's going to do all the experiences.
That's a clever one. I mean, I gotta like... Certain people are in the household.
I
at
like
the
the
moment.
smoky idea.
Yeah, because
he
you're doing
doesn't
it
drink
yourself.
whiskey.
And it's just, you know,
I don't like
it was
the taste
just
of
kind of a
oak
neat.
taste.
It's
But
kind of.
I can get it for a whiskey connoisseur.
But
Yeah, for me, any gift that is, it's not just chocolate. I love boxed chocolate where you can look at the little thing. Okay, which one is this? And
Okay, so
I love
James,
that.
our brother that was on an episode a few episodes ago, he was telling me yesterday that he saw on Sun Cooking Channel,
Yes.
like on Food Network. Did you talk to him about it?
Oh my God.
Did he text you about it?
I shouldn't say anything.
About
yes,
the-
he sent me a ton of texts.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I sent him the video on John Oliver about ethically sourced. And then he sent me a ton of other texts, and I haven't read it. I texted him this morning
but
about
it was about like taking chocolate and making a certain type of chocolate, which I thought was very funny. But I think it's nice that you're trying something different. That's always fun.
Yeah.
But for me, I was actually thinking even just a sporting event and like my
that's an
eldest son
experience.
and so for any of you that are hockey fans, chew on this one. My boyfriend likes the Flyers and my son loves the Rangers. They're like mortal enemies. I'll never forget when I first told Wolfie I was dating this guy. He's really nice.
Why the Flyers?
The Philadelphia Flyers because that's where his family's from.
Oh, because
Yeah. And he spent a good
from
few years
Philly.
there too.
And they were into the Philadelphia Flyers.
Like
His
he
family,
does
when I first met him,
all
was very
Phillies,
big in
all Phillies,
hockey.
which is just, as a New Yorker
don't
weird,
like
but okay. All Phillies get like stuff. But he, when I told Wolfie, I'm like, oh yeah, like dating this guy, he's really nice and he likes hockey too. He loves hockey. He goes, oh really? What team? And I told him the Flyers. He's like, I don't know, Mom. I don't know if this is going to work out. And he was serious. And I said,
What was
why?
the,
And he says, it's the fans. They're crazy. They're crazy, Mom. He
Well,
is not
it's
a
Philadelphia.
crazy fan. He is not a crazy fan, but it is funny. And they are very funny. Like whenever there's one of their games playing, they'll wear their jerseys and everything.
Philadelphia fans are crazy, period, no matter what sport.
I have to admit, I've watched
Gordon
football.
would agree too.
Yeah, he does too. I was going to say, I watched the football, the Eagles with,
Yeah, he
it's
loves
the Eagles, yeah.
too.
Because he was making fun of me because I'm like, how is like, because he was with his mom and dad. His mom and dad are so funny because they love their sports. But he went to their house to watch the game, and I texted him the other day, and I'm like, how is that Philadelphia football team doing? And he's like, you're killing me, Smalls. It's the Eagles. I knew that. I knew that. I
That's
get
like
them
sometimes-
confused. All of them in my head are the Phillies. And he's like, that's baseball. That's baseball. And I'm like, okay, but like, it's Philadelphia. Couldn't that just like be a blanket statement for all sports? He's like, no.
You could just say Philadelphia.
Well,
you
I
did.
said that.
You said the Philadelphia.
Philadelphia football team. How are they doing? And he's like, oh my God.
They won the Super Bowl last year, Danielle.
I know, and I know. You see, I said Eagles. It's just sometimes it doesn't flow out easily.
When I watch Colbert sometime, he clearly doesn't watch football. He goes, the sport team. It's funny to watch him. He's clearly a nerd.
And then like, you know, the fact that like I'm a Met fan. I mean, Gert's not a hardcore one anymore, but I still follow the Mets, and like, him and my son thought the Mets were totally going to make it. I'm going, no, they're not. They're going to choke. And they're like, no, they're really good this year. And I'm like, it doesn't freaking matter. I've been a Met fan since I was a kid. You need to understand, they always come, like almost always, they come out strong and they always choke. You need to explain. So when they did choke, because they totally choked, like they're like, I don't understand. How did that happen? And I'm like, I told you this. And they're like, you're not a real Met fan. I'm like, no, only a true Met fan understands the pattern and the pain, and we don't get our hopes up. Wolfie's still young. He's 27. He still has like hope and aspirations for them. I don't. I'm jaded and dead inside.
They won in 86.
In 86. When I was 16 or 14.
They came this
14.
close to losing it, though. And the only reason they won is because the other team choked. So it was the matter of which team's going to choke first. And the Mets choked that. Wade Boggs.
The
I forgot who they played
Mets.
Against. But okay, we're off track.
Oh, sorry.
It's not me this
but
time.
no, but there is a point of saying that is because I do think a sporting event would be a fun thing if you have the coin to do
even
it.
if it's minor leagues, because you have the minor league baseball team there, and we used to go there all the time. It was delightful.
They went to a minor league hockey game not long ago, and they had a great time.
Oh,
yeah,
in Brevard?
No, I think they had to go to Tampa. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I think they had to go to Tampa.
Okay, yeah. Tampa, I believe, has a...
Or
I
it
don't
was
follow
Orlando.
hockey
I don't
as
remember
much.
where.
Football,
I don't pay attention.
Used to.
they're
We stream now. Here's something interesting. We stream... Oh, you can always get a streaming service for someone. But we stream now, and it's very hard to watch the football game, so we just gave up this year. The last 2 years we did. It was a struggle. You know, this streaming service has this football, and this streaming service has that football. And if you bought them all, it gets expensive, yada, yada, yada. This year we just gave up and we don't watch football. Unless, actually last year for the playoffs, we were in Costa Rica and watched it in Costa Rica.
That's neat.
And then we lucked out that NBC had it on there, and so we could watch it on their streaming service. So, yep. No more cable, all streaming.
So with that being said,
really
I do, when it comes to going on holiday shopping, I do like thrifting. Also, we have a lot of like, you know, young people in the household.
Do you remember when Mom used to take us to they don't have
Five
them
and
anymore,
Dime.
the Five and Dime, the Wantor Five and Dime. And they had this one aisle, and on the bottom shelf, all these baskets of 5 and 10 cents items, and that's how we went Christmas shopping.
I think we each got like $1. Maybe
$1?
Yeah, I think it was $1, maybe $2. I think it was $1.
I think I just bought stuff, put it in, and then I don't even remember the money. I remember one of my favorite ones was getting it wasn't the cap gun, but you bought the strip of paper with little caps in it. And then if you didn't, you could use the gun and it would shoot it off.
Oh my god!
Or you could take a hammer and hit it, and it went pow, pow.
Which, you know, if you hit
I don't
anything
think they
with a
make
hammer,
that anymore, do
no,
they?
I'm pretty sure that's gunpowder.
But this made I don't know about that. It could be fireworks stuff,
Yeah, true.
but this made a special pow when it, and then if it didn't, they were like, oh, that was a dud.
Do they? I was gonna say, I loved the Lifesaver books, but that was like a whole $1 back in the day.
I don't know what that is.
It was like a box, and it was a book, and you opened up the book, and there was like different lifesavers in it. The Lifesaver book.
I thought you were saying Lifesaver.
No, Lifesaver.
Yeah. Okay.
That I used to get excited
I
over.
remember that. I did
By
not
the way,
like
the
them.
Montauk 5
I
and
got
Dime
them
is
a
still.
lot.
Oh, it says permanently closed. It looked like it was still there.
Well, I thought they changed the name, but then
It looks like it was updated on September 2025, so it must have just shut down. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I thought they changed their name to like not Thrift, but
Okay, no, it says
dollar
here
store.
December 2019, time to retire, Wanta straw closing after 6 decades. That's crazy. Sorry. Anywho,
Sad. You digress. Who's digressing this time
it's
around?
still
It's not me.
holiday shit, Joanne. Still holidays.
All right. Now, what present would you like? Mine's chocolate, always. I like Bon 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 and New House. There. And when my kids ask me, what do you want? I said, chocolate. I don't know why you guys keep asking this. Oh, yeah, I think I said box chocolate.
I'm not. I'm having a hard time with it because I don't know. There's not a lot.
Okay, I'm going to give you two of my other favorite things since you're not sure.
I do like gaudy jewelry. And
Okay.
I'm talking about like let me see if I have it. Like for instance, this bracelet I have, right?
Oh, that's pretty.
And it's
I would never
it's a
wear it,
cheap
but
piece
it's
of thing
pretty.
that I got for $5 at the thrift shop. But I love it.
That's
It's cute.
cheap. It looks like it's enamel.
Enamel, yes, but it's
It's not that cheap.
not with this kind of.
It's not like
band.
it's plastic.
No, but the band is rubber bands, basically,
All right.
with metal. But like, oh, and here I happen to have two things here. This is a necklace I got for $3.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I like things that are a little bit over the top.
Your jewelry. I've seen you in past episodes watching you. Your jewelry goes with your outfit. I mean,
yeah.
It's an ensemble, so it's not like because I had the problem of I'd be like, oh, this is pretty, but I don't think okay, it goes with this. Is that I came to the point. I'll wear necklaces, but I don't really wear.
Well,
jewelry.
I find most of my jewelry is kind of over the top, and a lot of people would question whether or not they should wear it with a certain outfit. And I'm a little bit maximalist in my stage right now. I'm like, can you tell by the way I'm dressed right now?
Well, in your past episodes, you're more fancy.
So should
dressed.
I tell people why I was not prepared today?
Oh, not yet. Okay. I want to go over the two things, actually three. One would my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
A water flosser I got this year.
Oh yeah,
because I hate flossing my teeth, and I never think it floss it well enough. Water flosser, I think floss better than the floss. You're still supposed to do both, but if I miss a day and still use the water flosser, I love it. Two, I bought this last year, and before it became big, I think it's big now though, is the Ninja Creamy, where you can make your own ice cream.
I have not. My son gave it to me for Christmas 2 years ago.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Last spring in my gut, and it's probably, maybe I can pick it up from the way the weather was. I was like, this is going to be a hot one. We need something. And I was able to get it on sale, and it was so worth it because with Weight Watchers and with getting older, you got to be careful more of what you eat.
Yeah.
And having ice cream is one of those special sometimes thing, like very rare things. So to be able to make ice cream and or froyo when it's hot out, it was delightful. So those are my favorite things: is the water fryer, the Ninja air fryer, New House chocolate bonbon, and Ninja. I just told Gordon, and I had to tell him early what I want for Christmas this year from him. Is we have this rocking chair. It's antique, not that matters, but I have an air filter that's next to it. I always put my tea there and my glasses and maybe a book that I'm reading currently, or maybe my phone or whatever, just a small please. So I asked him to make me that, and I think he will. So those are the things.
I know it's not on trend. I know everybody is really into the Stanley Cup still, which I still don't get. I always like the Yeti. I like that it didn't have a handle.
Paige does too.
the Yeti better.
Yeah.
And my Yeti broke, and I had two. One broke, and then one I took with me to travel, because I always took it with me to travel. I would just fill up the water. I put my electrolytes in it, and it disappeared. It disappeared. I think someone took it.
Well, maybe you lost it.
It was in my backpack, and it was like on a side thing. So, I mean, unless it fell out.
You think someone stole it?
I don't know.
Unless one of your kids borrowed it and forgot to.
No, I was on a trip. That was the same trip that my earbuds were taken to. So, and here's the funny thing: I had Find My, and it was like 300 miles away, not even, but it was still in California, and it was like in a house. So what you can do is you can press a button where it'll make beeping noises. So I just kept doing it because it seemed weird to call the police about earbuds, right?
Right.
But I also felt like
some earbuds are expensive. My earbuds are.
Well, let's just say I was connected to those earbuds for about a good 6 months, and I would daily fuck with them. Because I'm petty like that.
Hopefully they threw it out.
No, they didn't, because I could still get them.
Speaking of which.
And I would see where they were traveling to. I'd be like, where in the world is this person going now?
Where are they? Where'd they go?
They're in California right now. But I would see them, they would go to the mall. They worked at the mall, I could tell that.
You know, if anyone, what's the mall? Put it out to the people
I should go
here.
and look. I haven't looked in a while.
Okay.
Because it was like a good 6 months I was checking, and then I just was like...
Every episode we should start with...
Where in the world is Danielle's earbuds?
But speaking of which, one of my favorite things I got maybe 3 or 4 years ago are these headphones.
Why is Viera getting flash flood warnings? It's not even raining.
Viera is?
I keep on getting flash flood. I mean, it's overcast. Like I said, I heard thunder before, but I'm like, flash flood? We don't get flash floods. In 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Come on, Joanne, we got to get moving.
All right, let's move it on to what's your shopping strategy?
Honestly, the first thing I do, starting early is the best way to go. And I'm going to go from the prospect of someone that is trying to be thrifty. I don't want to spend a lot of money. And that is something, whether I had a lot of money or not, I've been trying to step back from expensive Christmases. Because I think I got stuck in that trap briefly.
Right.
Briefly.
A lot of people like thrifting too because environmentally speaking, it's more sustainable.
Yes.
I think they like that. And also, I would argue when you thrift, if you thrift well, you can find some unique items that you can't buy in the store anymore.
Absolutely. And I think I've been able to find my son's a Ranger fan. I found brand new Ranger, vintage Ranger caps and stuff like that. But I think it's the first thing you do is look at your list, write down the people, and just write down the things that are interesting to them. What are the things that they're really into? So this way, at least, especially if you're going to thrift for it, it's not about, I am looking for this specifically. It's about thinking, again, my son, he loves music and he loves records. He loves certain sports and certain teams. He loves certain video games, vintage stuff, and you just write down a general swath of stuff. That way, when you're shopping, I might be sitting there going, oh yeah, he loves the Rangers. I want to get him a Rangers cap. But then all of a sudden I see something else, like a mug. Right. That's an official one. Why would I not go for that one? Do I have to stick
can't get
to
mugs in this house? We have so many.
But I'm saying that you got to keep yourself flexible when it comes to thrifting, because it's not like you're going to a store and you can look for something specifically or Google it online. This is where you get what you get. And and I think it's about knowing whether or not to pull the trigger on it. Because sometimes you'll find something and you're like, that's so cool, but it's not exactly what he likes, or like, don't pull the trigger on something that you feel even mediocre about, you know?
And it's why you have to start early. So do you thrift at the thrift store or do you do thrifting online? How do you do yours?
Most of the time I do it either at the Goodwill or at small thrift shops around the area.
That's funny. A lot of my friends who thrift a lot think Goodwill is expensive.
It is.
That's fancy thrifting.
Yeah, it is. But we have one around the block. Now, here's the interesting thing about...
The one here is huge.
It's starting to change a little bit, but the clothing, in my opinion, are on the higher side. They are on the higher side.
You know, my one friend who does thrifting kind of for a living because she resells, I took her to the Goodwill and she found some big brand name stuff
that's
there.
the thing. Sometimes you will find brand names and sometimes with tags still on, and they're relatively reasonable, right? But what I find that I can get there, I mean, believe it or not, furniture. But I've been noticing it's been going up lately. Yeah, it's been going up lately. So
that's because people are, like my friend, buy it and then resell it. And then they're like, wait a second, we can sell it for more?
Yeah, meanwhile, they're getting it for free. I mean, I understand you have to pay employees in order to process it all and put it out and stuff like that. But like, come on.
Well, they hire, just FYI, in Goodwill particularly, they hire people who are homeless.
Among other people. But yeah. I just feel like, and I understand like that income has to go towards that. But I even had at one point spoken to someone, and he was saying that they had to cycle out 3,000 pieces of stuff a day.
Yeah. Well, that's fast fashion.
Well,
that's what my kids
and that,
keep
and
were
also
saying.
like, you know,
like Forever 21 is like fast fashion, and they are one of the biggest contributors to crap.
Now, mind you, if you were able to find, like, say, you have a baker in your family.
And when I say crap, I mean garbage.
Yeah. You might have a baker in the family. You might have someone that loves tea. You might have someone.
I love looking through the bakery. But do you do anything online?
Not
because I do.
much.
I do Facebook Marketplace.
Okay, Facebook Marketplace, fair. No, I do occasionally do that. Funny enough, with Facebook Marketplace,
that's most of mine.
That's going to be.
I'll go to the thrift store with my friends, but otherwise it's Facebook. When I need something, I'll look in there. And it's about being patient.
That is also, if you need something and you know specifically what it is, you can go in there and look daily. And it takes a couple of seconds.
Things like Gordon wanted new glasses. We had the ball jar glasses. We used to use them because my kid, she's got more than me. I was like, nope, they're measured. Look. But Gordon got to it, was inviting friends over and goes, Joanne, I want real glasses. I was like, all right, fine. And so I go to the thrift store because there you have more options. There you can look at it. Usually you have a complete set. So there's certain things I will go to in clothing, of course, I go to the thrift store because there's so many more options. But so there's certain things I will go to the thrift store for. Oh my God, my tongue is twisting. But there are certain things that when I'm just perusing, I'll do Facebook Marketplace.
Now, I will say this, if you do
I sell things on it too. And I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off for a second. I'll sell things on it and I get cash. And I don't use cash anymore. So to me, any cash I make, I can buy things with. So it's just a fun hobby.
I will say this, if you do have someone in your household that like they really want something in specific, they're not going to be getting it for themselves. They really want it. Like my son has mentioned he wanted some kind of technology thing. I told him he needs to write it down specifically what it is, including the name of it.
Make and model.
He even said if it was a cheap version of it, he says, don't spend your money on it, Mom, because the cheap versions don't do what I actually need it to do. And like, I don't want you to spend money on something that is, and he goes, and if you can't get it and it's too much money, then don't worry about it. And the thing that he's looking for is about $200. And I would tell you what it is, but I don't understand it. So sorry. But start looking now.
That's when
you
you
know
give
what
them-
it is.
Yeah.
Start looking now, because
Yeah.
the sales are going to start, especially this year. I think they're going to start early, because I think, again, speaking from someone that knows companies that have to meet their quota, and this year has been a little rough for a lot of companies, they are going to start dipping their prices in October. And that is for like
Well, I
beauty.
will say-
that is for clothing. That is for
Yeah.
for anything, really. If you start
I will
looking.
say this, in like September, and I know September's past, but in the future, in September and part of October, but I think it's mostly in September, they're clearing out their stuff to bring in the Christmas inventory.
Right.
So you can sometimes get a good deal in September because they're trying to get rid of that stuff.
And a lot of those like kits and whatnot that they come together, they're coming out. They typically are coming out on the
What
floor in
kits?
first week of October. Like, you ever see those, like, get this Christmas holiday bundle of, like, you know, let's say it's a makeup thing where it's like in a red and gold packaging, and they have like, you can get the mascara, the blush, and the bronzer all in this one thing that's Christmas themes and everything. They want to get rid of that, but like in the same breath, it comes out in October. So that's taking a risk, because if it's really popular, it may disappear. But if it's not selling as quickly, the closer you are to Christmas, they got to get rid of it. They got to get rid of it when it gets really close to Christmas, because what are you going to do? Hold on to Christmas packaging for another 2 months?
Yeah, but I also think that most people shop last minute. I don't think it's as true as when we were younger, but I still argue that most people shop last minute, and the stores know it.
Oh, excuse me. I do think that the week between Christmas and New Year's, there's all kinds of bargains to be gotten. But
I will say this, you know what I really like on Microsoft Edge? They have this thing on their URL bar to the far right, and it will tell you, it'll track a price and tell you if you're getting a deal on it or not. It'll have a graph of how much it cost for the past year.
oh,
And where it's dipped and where. So the reason I bring it up, I used to have an app for Craigslist that if something came up for sale, it would notify you. I would love to see here if there's an app out there that notifies you when a price drops. I have seen price tracking. I think Microsoft Edge has that now. I think I just saw it, and it will tell you when the price drops.
so here's the other question I have for you, and what are your thoughts
But you
on
have
it?
to risk. How deep will it go?
With the prices increasing because of tariffs, because there have been
right.
price increases for a lot of different products, not all products, but a good amount of products. Do you think that's going to affect the way people shop? Because I keep on thinking about what you were saying about purchasing an experience. And that's part of like where I sit here, and I was explaining to you about like, oh, if you are someone that's thrifting and you know you have a baker, start looking for those quality baking, you know, things that they love to have. Like a lot of times you'll find brand new stuff in there.
like
So-
an air fryer oven with a
Right.
temperature gauge, meat temperature
and you
gauge.
can get a package of like several different things. You have a coffee lover. I actually saw an espresso in there for $24. Those things run like almost a couple $100. So like you can find
I
stuff
have noticed
here and
coffee prices have gone up.
there. Coffee prices have gone up. It definitely
Yeah.
has gone up. So
We saw it the beginning, not last year, the beginning of this year. There used to be this fancy Costa Rican coffee for $15. It was now up to 24.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying
And
is that
it hasn't even been a year since we've.
trying to find an experience like a cooking class or, you know, I don't know, even books.
There is a golf thing here too, where you just shoot it off into the
hear
distance.
the
You can see
thunder?
if they have a beginner's thing. What?
You didn't hear the thunder?
No.
Man. Okay. Sorry.
Sometimes the microphones
It's
can
not even raining.
block out certain things. Well, it also can be. There's another type of.
It's the angels bowling in the clouds.
But they're winning, so they're not crying.
Yeah.
So no, the
There
rain.
you go, boy. My God, the stuff we used to tell ourselves.
That's what Dad used to tell us.
Dad would tell us a lot of tall stories. But yeah, so I think like getting back to sometimes having something that is a physical thing. Nowadays where things are just getting exponentially more expensive, that's where I do feel like, trying to find a small business that is doing experiences might be a great route to go.
Yeah. I will say, one of them could be a wine tasting. I also, it's called Virginia Gourmet, I think. It doesn't matter. It's localized, but you can look localized, and it's not in a vineyard. It's in a wine store, and they do wine and chocolate pairings, which is kind of neat.
We went once to a, my friend dragged me to it because I am not a whiskey or bourbon drinker, but it was a bourbon testing, and they give you a small thing and you taste it. And then you could spit it out. But no one was spitting. And me, I'm just like, I'm not a fan. So like, I was just wetting my lips, and I'd be like, here, take this. After a while, I was just handing it to him, and he's just like, woo!
I did that in a wine tasting.
And then we walked over to a restaurant afterwards.
Sorry.
And the waitress comes over. She's like, boy, you guys are happy. We're like, we were at a bourbon testing. Now we need to eat. Tasting. But those are fun. I mean, just, make it something local.
And it's kind of a present for you and them.
Right.
Because even if you don't entirely like it, it's fun. Like I did the
art
cooking class
together,
with him.
a cooking class.
I did a paint and sip, which wasn't one of our favorite ones, but it was fun. Wait, we were talking about something else, and I was going to say, we're talking about thrifting. We're talking about taking your time. Oh, you talked about tariffs. And here's my thought on tariffs. From watching the news, as I understand it, Christmas is going to be one of the points where people are going to really start to feel it. That I think, if you can shop earlier, the better.
Yeah.
Because the items they have on the shelf now probably are not affected by the tariffs yet. It's the new stuff coming in that's going to be. Oh, God, that makes me think I should go shopping now. The second thing I want to point out, you said that your son wanted something and it could be expensive. My kids get that way too. And when they do, I get them a small gift, something like $10-20 tops. And then I give them cash and say, look, I couldn't buy it, but maybe this cash can help towards it. And they may use it or they may not use it. I don't know, but it's to help pay for part of it.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they will use it to buy it because now it's affordable to them.
I feel like what we used to do is we would have, we used to get a very small gift and not a very expensive, but a more expensive gift. And we always had a philosophy that Santa brought an expensive gift because Mom and Dad worked really hard for that expensive gift. We're not giving any credit to some fat guy. No. So, I mean, granted, none of my kids believe in Santa Claus anymore, but I mean, right. I think it's a valid thing. But we
used to say Santa did the stockings.
Yes, Santa did the stockings as well. But we didn't put presents in the stocking.
We had a family member who did not do that. And I remember my daughter saying, wow, Santa really liked them.
Yeah.
And that was tough. And I had to say something. Oh, I didn't have to say something. I remember saying something to Mom, and I think Mom said something too.
Yeah.
But I remember that was one of the issues. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
It's hard. I had a scenario with friends, like all their friends, like, I don't understand. Santa gave them a PS whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah. I think it was Joey that said, Maybe Santa felt like they needed it more this year. Joey was always so damn cute.
This is why I hate Santa.
Yeah.
I really do hate Santa. And tell you the truth, I didn't really
It's
get
not
into
the
the
Santa.
whole Santa
I think it's the
thing.
parents that don't understand restraint to a certain degree.
Yeah, they think all gifts come from Santa.
Yeah, no.
But,
the point is that that's how we used to do things. Now we've had years, and this was many years ago, it was before Gunnar was born, where like literally we had no money for anything. So I was hand making gifts at that year, and I remember I got Joey was really into Pokemon. And so he wanted to have a sweatshirt with a shiny Umbreon. If you're into Pokemon,
I think I remember this.
I got myself a cheap zip-up sweatshirt. I think I spent like $5 on it. And I had felt that I had from an old project from the kids. And I sat there and I sewed it. And I made the ears and I made the tail and I made the eyes on the hood and everything.
Yes, I can picture it in my head. Yes,
he only
I
just
remember this.
recently gave it up. I mean, he's 24 now.
Aw.
He really recently gave it up and said, you know what, maybe someone would appreciate it as a Halloween costume because it's so tiny.
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to do with it? And then with Wolfgang, I took old bed sheets that were like dark blue and black, and I made, I cut out controllers. Like video game controllers to make pillows, and I used felt for the buttons and everything. So, and he still has it to this day.
You know,
He's
for a
27.
Halloween costume. For a Halloween costume, my daughter was making No Face. It's a Studio Ghibli character from Spirited Away. And Joanne Fabrics no longer exists, but we went to there. It was so expensive for a plain black fabric. And with that, because I gave them $10 to buy a costume. I would not spend ridiculous amounts of money for. And then we're in Walmart. I said, let's go look at the sheets, and found the sheets, $4 for a whole set. And that's what she used for her costume. But it's kind of sad that, but that also works with thrifting too. If you go to a thrift store, you could buy sheets.
Would you be able to get sheets over at, say, Goodwill for $4 anymore? No.
Not anymore. No.
And I'm sorry, but you can go on Amazon and get some of this stuff for less.
But
and that's
some of
been
my
complaint lately.
Some of the other thrift stops, Goodwill, no. But some of the other thrift stores, the smaller ones, you can.
One of my favorite necklaces I got at a thrift stop, like at the thrift store, that was just a tiny little thrift store. And I got they had all their jewelry for $1. So I got like rings and necklaces. I got like 6 pieces. And I'm like, these are my favorite. Like they were amazing. They were so cute. So like, yeah, I don't.
Do you still have Tuesday morning there?
No, went out of business.
Yeah, they used to have it here, and they went out of business. They opened 7 days a week, and that's what killed them, I think.
I went to there only a few times, and I found their prices were very high.
When I was there,
that could be why they went out of business.
Yeah, maybe.
They started jacking up the price.
They saved their money because they only opened Tuesday mornings, and didn't have to pay insurance for the rest of the week. And that's how they saved it, because insurance was killing them and things were. But then they slowly opened more days, and then they were open 7 days, and that could be why. I don't know. But
I just found like it reminded me of Marshall's, but more expensive.
Oh, it was cheap when I lived there. But anyway, so
So what are your favorite stores to go shopping at? Or are you just kind of like, I go online and I hunt for stuff there?
So that's interesting that you mention. I'm not a shopper, but for Black Friday, I was one of those people who used to get up early in the morning and go to the mall. It was a lot of fun. There was people out, not a lot, but it wasn't.
They talk about how people are mob and they were going to
days.
kill each other. That's only in New York, people. That happened on Long Island. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
I
know
never
about that
went to
happening.
those stores because I think they had problems here at the Target. I know Walmart's known for that, but I think Target had a problem here. Anyway, I enjoyed it, but after COVID, things changed.
Right.
And it's not the same. One, the stores open on Thanksgiving Day, which sucks because I refuse to buy sales on Thanksgiving Day.
Same.
And then I find people just, you have the online stuff, so people don't even bother. They don't bother going to the stores anymore. I tried the last couple of years, and it's just dead.
Yeah.
And our mall here has changed completely since COVID. And the stores that are in here don't market to me. I'm being a little bit arrogant here, but yeah, I'm not going to go into why. My hand looks really tiny when I put it like this. Doesn't it? There, now it's big. Oh, now it looks too big.
Ooh.
But did you ever see that picture of the Prime Minister? I want to say his name's Ajit, but I think I'm confusing him with someone in the US government. But he was a prime minister. He was kind of short, and they took a picture of him in the rain walking back, and he looked really tiny, like smaller than the podium. That's how I feel like my hand is looking. Oh. Anyway, so I think, what are you going to do this year? Are you going to do that tactic, write everything down, and then see?
Yeah, I mean, write down like things that the kids like. I'm also,
I think I'm going to make gifts this year and give them money.
That's always a nice idea.
I think they are in dire need of money.
Right.
Oh, my poor kids.
I think I might make some stuff. I might do some thrifting, write some stuff down. And I'm also closing. I'm not saying like there were times where I would, like send gifts to this friend, send gifts to that friend, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not, no.
That's exhausting. I've tried that, and it's just too exhausting to me.
I would always keep it like on a low level. Like I wouldn't spend more than $20, but like you're right, it's exhausting. And yeah. I don't know. What do you feel about
also
the whole... Go ahead.
Giving to friends?
That, and also like say your supervisor at work and that kind of thing. I know that people that do that, I understand it's a PC
I haven't
thing to do,
kept
or not PC. It's
I think it's wrong.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's wrong ethically.
Yeah,
and
I think
it's
certain corporations that are
for...
public, you're not allowed to do that, which is actually really
maybe good. Give a batch of cookies. Remember, you used to make that almond cake?
To do that. I would make the almond cake, and I used to make cookies, and I would put them in tins.
Yeah.
And I would deliver them to friends and family. Like I would tell, like say Fred's family, I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting you guys a present, but I'm giving you these cookies that I handmade.
That's still exhausting when you make that, because I've done that. It's still exhausting, but it to me is easy, simple. It's not a bribe of any kind. I don't think a supervisor should be giving you money, because the supervisor is getting paid more. I feel that's a bit scummy, making the lowerlings. I always hated gifts to teachers, and I get why. They always say, "Oh, but the teacher is struggling with that." I get that. But also, that is also an ethical issue, because you're trying to make the teacher like your kid more.
I think what I've witnessed nowadays is that people will ask like $5. Everybody give $5. We'll get them a gift card, whatever.
Not in the schools I've been to. But you're talking $20 to $100.
But I've seen people now doing where they they also give whatever they're going to give. Yeah, I'm not.
$5 I'm okay with, but it did not go that way where it went.
And
there
it was
were
only if
people who gave
you could afford
a
it.
couple
It
of
still
hundred
came from
even.
the whole class. Because I mean, obviously, there were some people that can't afford it. Period.
Yeah.
You know, they want to use that $5 to give something to their kid. You know.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I hear you. It's just yeah. I have issues with it. Now I did have one. I remember one at one of the schools. It was they would get a class gift and then a teacher gift card. But the fact that they can get both, and they were generous, both of them, to me is astounding.
Did I ever
Now,
tell
I would
you
only
the
give
story
$5-10,
that
and I
made?
felt this big doing it, but I refused. It's like they're
blame you.
getting paid.
I made my almond butter cake for.
That's why my kids were in class. Pets. Sorry, go ahead.
But
you made your almond butter cake. Do you still have that recipe? I want it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
Please send it.
And the funny thing is that it's not expensive to make either. It's flour, sugar. I think the almond extract is probably the most expensive thing, but you're only using a drop and you can get like several cakes out of it. So it's like, you know, it's not costing a lot of money. But I one year I made like 10 of them and I was giving it to teachers and I realized I made one.
You gave me one.
I remember one year I made one too many. And so Joey was just starting middle school or was it Wolfie? It might have been Wolfie. And I left it at the front desk for the ladies at the front desk. And I figured, you know, I'll just leave it there. And they were like, oh my God, thank you so much. So I went about, did my thing. And then I went back home and there's a message on the answer machine. It was from the principal. Mrs. Jess, I came into the office today and the ladies were participating in a cake and I asked them if I could have some. At first they said no, it was for them, but they relented and gave me a slice and I took a bite and I saw the skies open up. Angels sang to me. It was heaven. So I'm humbly calling you to find out if you could please make me this cake.
Not the recipe. He wants you to make it.
Let me tell you. But you know what? You get a call like that, you're making that damn cake.
Yes.
What a phenomenal message to hear, you know? Like, and when I showed up with that cake, all the women at the front desk, they started cackling. They're like, I cannot tell you how much. He's like, where did this come from?
That's hysterical.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
I brought that cake to my in-laws for Christmas, and they loved it.
Yeah,
Loved it. And I gotta say, that family does not express such
it's
things.
simple. It's simple. It's almost like a dense cookie, but a good like
Oh, it
2
was
inches
delicious.
dense. Yeah,
And I said something like it's a Italian American Long Island, and the one family, it was Gordon's his brother's in-law family, were Italian Americans, and they're like, oh yeah, you got it. So
I love that damn thing. Yeah, I'll send you the recipe because it's easy and it's a great gift.
you sent it to me once, but I lost it, and every once in a while, every Christmas, I think of it. And
I've even made it for people like if I go regularly to like say a coffee spot and it's always the same person, they know my order and stuff. I've made stuff. You know, that's an example, but that not really that, but like if I frequented someplace like at the library.
I would like to bring it to my club meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
The league meeting.
It just has that like coffee and cake kind of feel to it without it being too much. But in some breath, you have one and then you eat. You just keep eating and keep eating.
We're at the end.
All right, Joanne. All right. Yes. Oh my God. We went over an hour. So, you know, if you actually made it to the end, and hey, hi there. We're so impressed. We nearly didn't make it to the end. We want to thank you and,
I don't know. I
subscribe.
could keep going.
We were so excited to get a subscriber last week. So if you know anybody that would subscribe and give us mercy, like we would cheer that on. That would be awesome. We'd be like, oh my God, we got another subscriber. We have to get a bell. We can ring a bell every time we get a subscriber.
Oh, I like that. And then we'll get hundreds of rings.
Joanne and I also have been talking about possibly starting our podcast with pulling a tarot card and giving the meaning and stuff like that. Or let's see what the theme of the podcast will be, just for funsies. But, let us know in the comments. Tell us if you think that's a good idea. Since none of you are listening at this point, we don't really actually expect you to tell us their feedback. But if you are, this makes it all the more. The onus is on you right now because you're the only person that is still listening. So tell us what to do.
You are special.
You're special. You're special, all right.
Don't put it that way.
What?
Because they keep listening to us. They're delightful.
You're delightful. I love you.
It's probably Caitlin, so you have
We love you, Caitlin. All right.
We should have Caitlin on, our super fan.
I know, right? All right. We'll see you next week, everybody.
When I told her that she may not make it on, Paige said, I'll go on. I was like, oh.
I'm telling you, one day, like, you'll go on and do an episode with Paige.
Yeah.
And just like, get you, Danielle.
Actually, it might be more fun if you did it with Paige.
That would be fun. So it's like, give me a break. All right. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.